Background. Me, remarried. 2 kids with ex, 2 stets, 1 kid with husband. Husband. Good friend who had feelings for me before divorce. Ex. Ex-husband. Going through divorce number 2. My family. Mom, dad, 2 sisters, 1 brother, all married, multiple nibblings. I was codependent and conflict avoidant. Ex was disengaged and manipulative. I ended up burning out hard, filing for divorce and moving out. Ex told everyone that I cheated on him, and my whole family went no contact with me for over a year. Everyone's currently reconciling and repairing with the exception of my older sis. I chose to go no contact with her. She was not nice, but I can't go further per the rules. The issue is that older sister is planning a family vacation to Florida, and my ex and our kids are going. I was pretty ticked that he was going on a family vacation with my family, but when I thought about it, there's no way in hell I would voluntarily spend extended time with my sis, and I didn't want the kids to miss out. There wasn't any reason why they shouldn't go. So I came to terms and I let it go. My husband was upset about my family excluding me, again, but I thought he was in agreement that it was best just to let it go. Today, I found out that the original plan didn't include my kids, but my mom wanted them there. But she also didn't want to have to be responsible for watching them, and knew I wouldn't go, so she invited my ex. She also paid his share, knowing that he would reimburse her once he got his money back from a soon-to-be ex-wife. She stole about $4,000 from him before she left. My whole family flipped out that my mom was paying for him, and that they had to share a space, and she got into a fight with both my sisters and dad. I told this to my husband in a, you won't believe what drama is going down on the other side, spectator sport sort of way. He surprised me by getting super ticked and saying that he was angry at my mom for letting this whole thing happen and disappointed in me for not letting the kids go. I said that there wasn't any valid reason for the kids not to go, and I'm not going to let grown-up problems get in the way of their fun family memories. Even though I agree with him that it's extremely weird that my ex is going on a family vacation with my family, and I understand that all of us, me, my husband, my steps, and my little one are all being excluded. But there isn't an option where all of us go, and if he's really honest with himself, he wants to be there even less than I do. He and my parents have a very tenuous relationship, and he's never met any of my siblings. I think I understand why he's disappointed and angry, but I also think that it's not fair to my kids to punish them for grown-up problems. Am I the a-hole for letting my kids go and not putting up a fuss? Everyone sucks here. You should have kicked up at least a little fuss, because right now your husband is feeling like your ex is more part of your extended family than he will ever be. Your family is just crappy in general. Who invites the ex but not the family member themselves? That's all sorts of backwards. I don't care how you rationalize it. Everyone sucks here, except for your husband and the kids. Why do you think your children would want to be, or benefit from being involved in this ridiculous crap blizzard? You're sending them with, 1, your sister who was so not nice, you still have no contact with her after reconciling with the rest of the family, and who doesn't want them, or you, or your husband, or your other daughter there. 2, your disengaged and manipulative ex-husband, who divorced out of this family, and then detonated another marriage in front of your children and a still unresolved financial dispute. 3, your mother, who chose to force them on the former by hiring the latter, but who can't be bothered to watch them herself. 4, your sister and father, who don't want to be stuck in a hotel room with this mess. Your husband is disappointed because you're sending his stepchildren into the very same twisted pile of flaming wreckage that you're rubbernecking at. If you want a vacation from your kids, hire a sitter, but not your ex. Everyone sucks here. The valid reason for your kids not to go is because your family is toxic. It's just the first reason. Your family are actively excluding you and your husband. Why would you let your kids around them? I mean, they are all a-holes. I'm 15, about to turn 16. As an early B-Day gift, my mom paid for me to go on a trip with some cousins. My aunts, 22 and 25, came on our trip to chaperone, hang with us as we're a close family. There was 8 people total in our group. We booked 2 rooms and split the price evenly between all 8 people. So we check into the rooms, and my other 4 cousins staying in their separate room has 2 double beds. When me, my cousin, and our 2 aunts checked into our rooms, there was only 1 king bed and a pull-out couch. My cousin and I thought the front desk messed up and suggested we go ask for 2 doubles. My aunts say they booked the room like that on purpose because they didn't want to sleep close to each other and that my cousin and I can have the pull-out couch. We were pretty upset, but didn't want to cause a rift and pulled out the couch. We laid on it, and the mattress was like a semi-thick blanket put over springs. It was so uncomfortable. I couldn't imagine sleeping on it, let alone for a week, 8 hours a night. I would have messed up my back for sure. My cousin also has a spine problem and can't sleep on hard surfaces like that. We told them that we wanted to change to a 2 double room, and they told us to shut up, and they're chaperoning the trip, and they're older, so they're in charge, and we have to listen to what they say. I immediately got pissed off and told them, we all split the price evenly, so we need to split the room evenly. My mom paid for my hotel room so I can have a bed to sleep on, not for you two to get a king. So either change the room or I'm calling her. They told me to call her, and I did. My mom first tried to be an adult about it and told them nicely to change the room. They refused. My mom ended up booking another room for my cousin and I separately and told my aunt she's not paying for the king bedroom. After that, my aunt started excluding us during the trip, not including us in convos sometimes, and saying they couldn't do particular activities we planned to do, as they had no money left because they had to pay for the full price of the room. Boo ducking who, you both have full-time jobs, and their parents are taking care of rent and tuition. Our trip was pretty much ruined. My other cousins, who were much more obedient than me and my roommate cousin, told us we should have just sucked it up for the sake of the trip. I don't think we should have, because my aunts think they're entitled and can do whatever they want, and my mom paid for me to go on this trip evenly. Had my aunts paid for the hotel, we might have not said anything, but we were more inclined because we paid and the bed was ducking uncomfortable, and my cousin has a bad spine. I don't know. I think my aunts can suck it, but should we have just let it go? The four of us are still mad at one another, and I don't plan to be the first one to make up. Not the a-hole. You deserve the bed that you paid for. Your aunts suck. Not the a-hole. Don't let people walk over you. If people want to be spineless, that is their choice. But they don't get to berate others who actually stand up for themselves. Not the a-hole. You did good to stand up for yourself and preserve your dignity. Don't let people push you around with the threat of toxicity. That problem could have been resolved easily if they just let you have another room that is comfortable. It's them who escalated the situation, not you. I'd strongly advise you to minimize hanging out with your aunts in the future, family or not. They seem quite reckless and selfish. Ever since I was a kid, I was never allowed to keep any of my gift money. Cash, prepaid gift cards, none of it. All of it was used to re-gift other people. I got to keep the thoughtful and physical gifts, of course. My parents aren't that demonic. Even my tooth fairy money miraculously disappeared. And then whenever they would gift me cash, they would miraculously not have any on them and ask me for money and then not pay me back. My family is pretty well off, and so we really don't need to do it. And I understand being frugal, but it gets kind of excessive when you got around $900 in total from your grad party, and all of it is instantly taken from you. I'm 18 and about to turn 19 in a month, and my friend who I haven't seen in a while gave me a late graduation gift. They gave me a really thoughtful gift as I'm about to head off to college, but also a $25 gift card. I knew my parents would never let me keep it, so I hid it. I mean, it is a gift for me, not my parents. I ended up using it yesterday and somehow my parents found out. I found out that my mom has access to my email on her phone. She asked me how I got the money, and I told her from the graduation gift, and she called me a liar, a thief, and a cheat. She's crying in the other room as I type this. They went ballistic and threatened not to help me with paying for college and not letting me get a bank account. I feel bad, but I don't think they have the authority to commandeer the gifts that I get and shouldn't have the right to monitor every step that I take, every waking moment I have. Edit. I did not get a joint account. Woohoo! I went to get a bank account right after I saw multiple people telling me that I could just go do it myself and used a promotional offer that gives me $100 for only new Chase customers to make sure I wouldn't get a joint account. My parents didn't let me use my grandma's check just yet, so I used a check that I got for winning a business competition, which was enough. I'm moving away to college in the next few weeks, so I'll have a little more freedom. I'll just play it by ear for the tuition. Although this isn't the only thing that sucks about them, I still love them and care deeply about them. They do love me, but struggle to properly manifest their love because they didn't have great relationships with their parents either. So I won't go completely no contact. Not to mention, they are helping me with my tuition and letting me rent a house we own rent-free. Like I said previously, these experiences are just helping me create a blueprint for how my children's lives are supposed to be. Edit 2. By the way, the business competition I won was in personal finance. It just didn't occur to me that I could go to the bank by myself. I was thinking about a custodial account that my parents had for me that I wanted access to. Edit 3. Alrighty, everyone was telling me that I needed to get a new email address. I was skeptical about getting a new email address because everything that I have is linked to it, etc. But I just made one. Step 2 towards independence. not the a-hole. Holy cow, what the duck is wrong with your parents? They're seriously threatening to not pay for college because of a $25 gift card? And you didn't need them to open a bank account. You're 18 and can open one on your own, at least in the US. Your parents have been stealing your money, and you need to move out and make sure they have no access to any of your accounts. Not the a-hole. You're right, they don't have the authority to commandeer and steal your gifts that other people gave you. If I were someone who'd gifted you cash and found out your parents had simply taken it, I would be livid at them, and they would absolutely hear about how incredibly inappropriate and ducked up that is. Your parents are financially aggressive toward you, and all I can recommend is to get far away from them as soon as you can. Not the a-hole. Your parents are thieves. Your mom is insane, and I really think you need to think of other ways to pay for college, because I would not trust them to pay. Yesterday was my little brother's birthday, so my mom organized a little party, only including our direct family and her brothers. My sister has been very distant from the family ever since she left home for university. However, whenever she does come home for someone's birthday or Christmas, she always trots off a couple of lottery tickets as presents before she heads off on her way. My brother scratched off one of his tickets and got a match. He wasn't too excited because we have won a few times over the years, but only actually got $5 max. He asked me to go out and redeem it because he wasn't 18 yet, and I was initially reluctant because we live out of town, and the closest lotto is 30 minutes away. I told him I would go if he gave me half of what he won, and he agreed. I left to redeem the ticket, and I ended up winning $500, cash in hand. I was ducking stoked, and rushed back home. When I told him and showed him the money, he was ecstatic. I handed him $250. Then he looked at me and said, "What the duck?" I asked him what was wrong, and he told me to hand over the rest. After I tried to explain to him that we made a deal, he started getting mad and throwing a little tantrum. I tried reminding him that I spent almost $200 getting him one of those authentic football jerseys of his favorite player, Neymar, but he was having none of it. The rest of the family came over to find out what all of the ruckus was about, and my brother told our mom that I stole his money. I tried again to explain the situation, but he kept interrupting me and screaming that it was his lottery ticket and his money. Our mom stepped in and said that if we can't sort it out, then she'll just take it, as she snapped it out of my brother's hands before attempting to do the same to me. I dodged her attempt and told her again that we made a deal before she told me to give it. I yelled, "Duck this," as I left and drove back to my college dorm a couple hours from home. After I got to my dorm, I was getting texts from my mom, brother, and a couple cousins telling me to come back home, or just saying that I was acting like a jerk. I ignored everyone, but when I got a text from my sister, who I haven't really talked to for almost a year, which said, "I heard you won some money for my ticket," I just replied with, laughing my butt off, "Duck off." So, am I really in the wrong for keeping half the money? Yes, the a-hole. Your brother got a ticket for his birthday. You had the audacity to ask for half in order to cash it because he wasn't able to. Seriously, that's ducked by itself. Tried to justify you taking $250 because you bought him a present that cost less than that. Ran away rather than trying to resolve the conflict. With a mature duck this. Ignored everyone trying to talk to you except your sister who provided the ticket. To your brother as a birthday present, just in case you've forgotten why the ticket existed in the first place. Who you told to duck off. Do you rely on your family for anything? Because if you do, I'd have a serious think about how they might retaliate for this, and then think about if $250 is worth it. Yes, the a-hole so much. Your brother is 13, info from a comment, and you're taking $250 from him on his birthday? When you acknowledged that he lives at home with a struggling single mother, and then you said, "Duck this," and left with his money, effectively ruining his birthday. Ducking, yikes. I mean, yeah, he technically owes you half the money. Would have been reasonable if he had won $5 like you were expecting. Or even if he were a fellow adult. But seriously, instead of doing a kid, your brother no less, a favor on his birthday, you do this. And yeah, it would have been nice of him to give you half, but come on. You're being incredibly immature about this. He could have handled it better, but you're the adult trying to profit off the 13-year-old's birthday party. Sheesh. Yes, the a-hole, for sure. I thought maybe underage meant 17. You're clearly over 18, and he is 13. You stole from a child at his own birthday party, after strong-arming him into giving you a piece of his birthday present. Again, you stole from a child, as a grown man. You should be ashamed.